Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy Podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
Because 90% of them are wrong. They're fucking wrong.
Max Taman.
You've got a plate of shit and you've got a bowl of shit. They're the same thing.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Yeah.
John Taman.
What the hell was I talking about?
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taman.
Howdy out there, ladies and gentlemen. I've decided I'm no longer going to be the world's worst podcast host. I'm going to try to curtail all my cursing and all of my various allusions towards bodily functions and things like that. And to take over for me as being the crudest person in podcast land is my good friend from Southeast Virginia, Jesse. Now, were you working today, right?
Yeah, I had to go
working
to Warsaw.
Warsaw? Into
Warsaw.
Poland?
No, Virginia.
So there's a lot of Polish people there?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so what were you doing? Were you digging beavers out of freaking culverts again? Is that what you were doing?
Who's eating Polish sausage?
running wire underneath the house.
Okay. So this was side job work.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So you did that on yourself. All right. Well, that's good. How big of a crawl space did you have? I did that for many years, so I'm just curious.
It wasn't bad. I've been in a lot worse, put it to you that way.
That's cool. That's cool. The best thing about going out there to do it on a day like this today is you ain't gonna run into any goddamn snakes. That's for sure.
True.
All right. So our good friend from down there in Barrow Furnace, UK, Scott Hartley. How are you, my friend?
All good, mate. Yeah, just having a cup of tea. So waiting for the snow to arrive. So yeah, it's meant to be apocalyptic if you listen to the news, but we'll probably end up with about an inch.
An inch? No, wait a minute.
Hey, for Karen, that is apocalyptic.
Wait a minute. Damn.
Zing.
Shots are
Max
fired
with the zing.
right away. You know what? I'm going to yell at him and say, hey, you shouldn't say those things on a podcast. We're trying to be more family-friendly here. But at the same time, I'm going to say, that's my boy. There's Max Taylor right
I
there.
appreciate that Scott almost spit that tea right into that cup.
Yeah.
Now, Scotty, you called it an inch. Right. But you live in the UK, and you're always screwing around with us because we use inches and feet. Now, is this a
use
special
inches and feet.
exception for snow?
No,
So
we
you
use
get,
inches and feet for snow and measurements like that, but we do use centimetres and metres for everything else. We don't use kilometres. A lot of Europeans use kilometres. We use miles per hour, same as you guys do. So,
All right,
yeah.
I'm already going to break my vow. That's pretty fucked up. What the hell's wrong with you people? I mean, goddamn it, you're always making fun of us and saying we got everything fucked up over here. But Jesus Christ, at least pick one unit of measurement and go with it.
Pounds and stones and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how we work. Yeah, and feet in it. It's always feet and inches. Yeah, we use that
Well,
too.
to be fair, there's been millions of you on that island for 10,000 years. There's bound to be a little inbreeding. That's how it goes.
Oh, there is. If
Speaking
you go to Norfolk, to the deepest, darkest depths, there's people with 6 fingers, and webbed
Jesse,
feet.
don't you live in Norfolk?
Close to it.
Don't you live near Norfolk? Or is that the Norfolk that we borrowed the name
It's
from?
the same. Yeah, you borrowed the name from. So there you
All right,
go.
well, that's good. That gives me a segue. Other than speaking of inbreeding, here's my son Max Taman down to the bottom left. I can say something different now because I had no openings.
That's more of a shot on you.
I know it would be, and I would have had no openings whatsoever. But thankfully, Scotty led me back to the ability to say something that was not so stupid. All right, so hey man, we got a full slate of football games in 2 days. We got no Monday Night Football. The last game of the season is going to be the Lions and the Vikings. That should be a good one.
Game of
And
the year.
The season has flown by.
Well, it always does.
Unbelievably.
I mean, it's not unbelievable. It's the same amount of time every year. Get used to it.
Sure, but
It just seems to go so quick, though. That's the thing.
yeah.
You wait all that time for football, and you get to May, and it's like, oh, we're not far. Training camps come right around the corner. Then you've got the draft and all that, and then it's like, oh, football's nearly here. Then there's OTAs, and then you're like, we've got nothing to talk about. Then you finally get to the season, and it's like, shit, we've got the season here, and it's just gone. It's gone in a blink of an eye.
Not for us.
Man.
Not for the Commanders.
Yeah.
We
Real
get a
quick.
little bit of extra season this year. Go
JD
ahead,
is
Max,
back in the chat today. Scott,
Go
what
ahead,
type
JD.
of rum are you guys drinking over there now?
It depends, mate. I like Carlsbad brandy if I'm going down that route, or rum wise, like navy rum. So a dark rum is the way to go for me.
So when you say navy rum, does it come in a barrel? Do you get like one shot of it a day if you stand watch? Or
Yeah, if you splice the main brain, yeah.
Splice the main brain.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even going to ask what that means. What's up, Ian? How you doing? Bro told me Mark won the fantasy. The Wanks won. Well done, boys. And you're right. The Wanks did win in the good Yanks versus Wanks Fantasy Football League. You know, this is you ever shoot pool for money? I'm sure you guys shot pool for money. Jesse, you shot pool for money. You played snooker, right, Scotty, or whatever you guys call it?
Yeah, we played pool.
All right.
Yeah.
So when you shoot pool for money, you lose a couple of games, and then you say, okay, you want to play $2 a ball, and then boom. So consider this: the Yanks. We're letting you have one this year.
We
We'll
lulled
come
you
back
to
next
sleep.
year. Right. Next year we'll come back and say, okay, Scouts, we'll go ahead and we'll have a prize money this time, and then boom, that's what we're gonna do.
So basically, when I was talking about splicing the main brace, what that is the crew would receive in the Royal Navy an extra ration of rum when it was issued on special orders. So generally, if you were on a ship or on a submarine and you cross the equator, you get an extra shot of rum, and everyone has to drink more. So there you go.
So if you're on a submarine, now that we're talking maritime stuff, I'm just curious about certain things. If you're on a submarine,
Yep.
how often are you served things like Brussels sprouts or lima beans?
I hope not often.
Not often. No.
I would think
Generally, what they do on them, not that I've been on one, is that they
hard to get the
have
sub to go down.
Yeah, they have different colours for different days. So if it's red, they light up the corridors and the main frame with it's all red. That means it's nighttime, so you know what time of day it is. Generally going around, and they have the same meals in the cookhouse. So it's always a Sunday roast. So you know that's the day you're going into, because being under the sea in a tube can, not ideal. not for me.
No, I mean I appreciate the insight. That you have to, well, for one, for fresh meat, you got to carry your own cattle. So there's a whole deck for that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, you stock up on what you stock up on.
Pigs and chickens. Yeah. You got them like they used to have them in the galleys back in the old days. All right, so...
So about an hour ago, did you all see the news that broke from Tampa?
No.
So Jordan Whitehead, one of their safeties, was involved in a car accident.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
he's decent. He's going to get placed on the NFI, and he'll be out for a few weeks.
Okay.
So, with that being said, that we hope he's okay. Tampa's short of starting safety now.
That's true.
It's too bad the Saints aren't going to be able to do anything about it.
I mean,
Very
right,
true.
but
Right.
if Tampa wins and if the Rams lose, which it looks like they're trying to, we're going to Tampa.
Well,
It still baffles the hell out of me why the Rams
That's
are
so
trying
crazy,
to
that
lose. It doesn't
Well,
make any
you could
sense.
argue they very nearly beat the Vikings. They did beat the Vikings, actually.
all right, but that was weeks ago, right?
You're right, but
All right, then.
they also were one of the Lions' closest games this year, so they might feel good about their matchups.
They might feel good about their matchups, but they also shouldn't feel good about the way that they've been playing lately. They've been lousy, and I agree with you, Jesse. I don't know what they're doing unless they. I mean, if that's the thinking.
Max, what week was their bye?
They're by, I have to find it. Give me a moment. Was in week 6.
Okay,
been a
So
while.
second week of October.
I
been a
get
while.
that. That could explain a little bit.
And-
Yeah.
They were 1-4 going into their bye week.
Yeah,
And
I
now
mean they
they've-
just haven't had a bye in a long time, and that's one of the reasons why Philadelphia is resting all their people too, is because they had an early bye as well.
Philly had a bye week the same week as us, dog.
Did they really?
They
Yeah,
did.
they were like 2 weeks ahead.
Oh,
of
I'm
us.
sorry. They're week 5.
Theirs was
Yeah, that's all.
I
Yeah,
thought
they
this was late.
had an early
Why did
bye
I
week.
think they had a bye? Oh, because they had the mini bye after us. That's what it was. That's where I was confused.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one that forgets about shit on this show. That's
I
for damn
know.
sure.
Should we go through week 17 then?
We can go through week 17. Let's get it from the Big Embossed book, Scotty. Let's see. Can we show the fans at home the Big Embossed book? Let them get a
The
big
Big
look
Embossed
at
book
that.
is there.
Look at that.
How many pages does the Big and Boss book have left?
Oh, mate, I'm struggling now. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 5 pages left.
So this is the equivalent of like when you run out of toilet paper and you're just
No,
like,
it's
Yeah,
not.
no,
This is the
yeah,
Big
no,
Embossed
no,
book.
no.
This is
Big
this
and
is
Boss,
nothing
Big
to
and
do
Boss
with
Book
them
Mark 2 is
toilet
here.
humor.
Look, Big and Boss
I'm telling
Book
you.
Mark 2.
Scott is one of the
Wait,
few
wait,
people in
It's
the
still
United
got a bow on
Kingdom.
it
why is there a bow on it, Scott?
because I got it for Christmas.
That's right. That's right.
Last year.
Scott's he's one of the few people in the United Kingdom that has a degree in scribing. So we're going to let him use his talents, and he scribes for us. He follows us around.
I tried to bring us into the 21st century for 1 week, and Scott said,
difficult, man.
my hand, no, I need the hand cramps.
Correct.
tell you what,
Too bad.
You go over to Scotty with a tablet. You can convince him you're a god. Watch this.
Probably.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, my, look at this. All right, so go ahead, Scott. Let's hear what happened last week.
So predictions wise, Jesse, you had 10 on the week. John, you also had 10. Max, you had 9. I also had 10. So it is a draw overall on that. No one won on the predictions. On the money,
Saints.
Jesse, yeah, exactly. Jesse, LA, you had the Chargers laying the points 5.5, $50 on that gave you 93.48. The Bills money line 500 gave you 596.15. The same game parlay plus 658, $200 on that gave you a cool $1,516. The Vikings minus 1.5, 100 on that gave you 198.04. 50 on the over in Detroit and San Francisco, 50.5 that was, and that gave you 97.17. Your totals down for the week was 1,150. Your returns 2,584, giving you a profit of 1350.84.
Boom.
Well done, John. LA Chargers again, also the 5.5, that 50, that gave you 93.48. Cincinnati minus the 350 gave you 92.37. Over 50.5, Cincy in Denver 50 gave you 97.62. Over 38.5 in Dallas versus Philly, 100 on that gave you 195.24. Laying 9.5 points for the Bills and the over, and a Cook anytime touchdown was a plus 341. 50 on that gave you 220.50. Over 48.5, Green Bay versus Minnesota was 100 on that, gave you 194.64. Lions minus 35, minus 3.5, sorry, 50 on that, gave you 98.05. Your totals down was 1,025. Your returns were 991.93. So that's a loss of $27.07.
God damn it! I needed that $27.
I bet, man. I bet.
Did you win $27 last week? So
Probably. I ran right out and put it on a horse. So fuck it.
Exactly. Max, the only one
not
you
talk
got
about it.
down,
Let's not
minus
talk about it.
5.5. Plus a Dobbins anytime touchdown was 186. 100 on that gave you 286. Your downs were 450. Your returns was 286. A loss of
Hey,
164.
this is a good week for me, all right?
Me, I got the LA minus 5.5 plus a Lad McConkey anytime touchdown for plus 269. 50 on that gave me 184.50. Cincy minus 3 plus a T Higgins anytime touchdown. 50 on that was a plus 258, gave me 179. My totals down was only 200. My returns was 363.50, a profit of 163.50. So Jesse, me and you profited, but clearly you are the winner. Overall on the predictions for the season so far then, Jesse has 4, John has 4, Max has 1, I have 3. Bets, Jesse commandingly 10 now. John, you have 3, Max, you have 2, and I have 2. So you are the overall champion on the bets, Jesse, for the season. But it's all to play for on the predictions into the final week of the season.
Right on.
Listen, I got one thing I got to say about last week.
Chase Brown.
Chase Brown.
Yeah, he's fucked us all.
You motherfucker.
Jesse, man, was 1 away with a Chase Brown.
You motherfucker.
Max was 1 away with a Chase Brown. You'd have got a Chase Brown.
Not that I just would have got a Chase Brown. I put like 5 things together, including a 2+ touchdown game for T. Higgins, and every bit of it hit. And Chase Brown went down on his own. He had it. It was there. It was there. And I'm like, just 10 inches. Go 10 more inches. And then he hurts himself, so they pile into the end zone anyway. I was so mad. Oh
Yeah.
my God!
Because I had a couple of real, I had a real life bet on that as
Me
well,
too. And I had it was a nice.
I was furious. Yeah.
I had some nice odds.
It was
on
the
that
one.
thing.
The one that was there, nearly there for Jesse again was there plus 1842. Holy shit! That is. If you go back to the last week's show, it was 1 hour and 4. If you go to exactly that point and listen to everything that you listed down, it was like, oh yeah, Gibbs, and I'm going to go with Gibbs with 50. I'm going to go with an anytime touchdown. It was the Lions game, and you were one away in the Lions game as well. And I think it was Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Didn't get a touchdown.
Well,
He got
so
everything
Chase
else
Brown,
that you asked for, but he didn't get a touchdown.
I hope you step on a fucking Lego. That's nothing
So there
bad.
you
Just
go.
step on a Lego.
Yeah.
All right. I think that the theme is coming to the end. That's almost perfect timing there with the Big and Boss book. So,
Dun, 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 dun.
you are looking live at Dallas, Texas, whatever it was called stadium with a big hole in the fucking roof. And here I am. What was his goddamn name? Frank Gifford. Gonna sit here and give you the Frank Gifford. Everybody would run to the outside or something like that. That dude fucking elongated at least one syllable. I know, I hear the weirdest things, but he would talk about a guy that was running. He had to look at him there. He's going to run wide. It was almost like he was trying to do Keith Jackson, which is really much older than all of y'all. Yeah, sorry. You don't even like college football. You wouldn't know Keith Jackson from a hole in the wall. Keith Jackson. Whoa, Nelly, those big corn huskers from Nebraska. They've been feeding those boys well. Fumble. He was the best.
All right, okay, there you go then.
He was. All right, the Big Uglies. All right, speaking of the Big Uglies, here we go. All right, let me fix the thing here.
I fixed the thing there, John. All right, we have two
You
games.
know, what
on
I hate is when I have to
Saturday.
fix the thing when I'm like walking through the grocery store.
You just do the
very,
the
very
awkward
true.
step and you're good. What are you talking
The
about?
awkward step. It's not as easy for me.
Like Jaden's pimp limp.
All right, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. The Ravens are 19.5-point favorites. Over under 41.5.
And just breaking, literally about this game 25 seconds ago, Bailey Zappi is starting for the Browns.
Yeah, no, I heard
Fuck
that
it. Who
earlier
cares?
today.
I mean, the Browns
Yeah.
have just said, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters.
No,
I mean,
I don't think it does either.
So, real quick, do you guys want to guess how many starting quarterbacks this is since 1999
Shit, it's got to
for
be
the
over 30.
Browns,
for the Browns?
It's got to be
do
over
they have
30.
more than us?
Yes.
Yes. So I will tell you,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have the most. The second most is the Bears at 30. Mm-hmm. So this is 25 seasons. How many starting
go
quarterbacks?
It's over.
I'm
I'm going to say 31.
35.
Jesse?
Well, I'm gonna say 43.
It is 40 on the nose.
Wow.
This is the 40th starting
40.
quarterback since they came back
Wow.
into the league.
Well, but I honestly, when you do that and they start counting guys like this that start in the last week of the season, I don't think that should count. To me, your starting quarterback is the guy that you say I'm either putting you out there to start the season or I'm taking this guy out and putting you in. That's my starting quarterback. But this kind of nonsense. I think the NFL should have called up the Browns and said, "Look, just please start Jameis. We've got people tuning in to watch TV. Just start Jameis. Give us some entertainment."
Yeah.
All right. Well,
what do
I
you think on
think
this
all
game?
of us guys, we're going to take the Ravens, right, to win this game.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
But that's a massive line, even still.
And I'm going to put $100 on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
On
really?
the money line,
No, on the cover.
Fucking Bailey Zappi.
on the cover.
You're gonna lay the points there.
I'm putting
Holy
$100
shit.
on the Ravens to cover. Look, the Ravens have to win the division.
We'll
So,
get there, JD.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi. You sure you
So-
want to put that much out?
Hang on, because I have all of this. So I have next to me an
Wait,
entire list.
You're taking the Browns to cover.
No, the
No, he's taking the
Ravens to
Ravens.
cover.
Oh, okay.
So laying them
He's playing
points,
with fire
19 and
there.
a half.
Fucking Bailey
I am saying the Ravens are going to win by 20. All right. So next to me, I have every single contract incentive that is at play this week. It is
Okay.
broken down by player, but not by team. So you have to bear with me while I scroll through this.
All right.
So the realistic ones for this game is if Patrick Ricard gets 2 touchdowns, he'll get $100,000. Woo!
That ain't happening.
Kyle Van Noy needs half a sack for $250,000.
Yep, that could happen.
And not any of that. Justice Hill, if he gets 8 catches, will get $250,000.
Nope.
Unless they pull out Derrick Henry because they've got a 35-point lead at the end of the first quarter.
Now
I
I
don't
need
see
to find
that
the Browns. Hang on. I got to find the Browns. All right. Jack Conklin, no. David Njoku, no. Zadarius Smith is 2 sacks away from $250K.
He might get it.
Is he even there? I thought Zadarius Smith was. Is he not with the Lions?
He is, but I think it still tracks for both. It depends on how the
No,
trade
I think
went
they're
down
flying
with
him in
language.
special to try to sack Lamar.
Nothing there. Nick Chubb isn't playing. All right, that is it for contract incentives on this game.
There you go.
Look, the
I'm
Browns
sure
have a
that,
lot, but like Nick Chubb needs 1,050 yards to get 900,000, but he's not even playing.
He's probably got a very limited.
Right, so
chance.
there's a few. It's going to be really difficult this week for betting. But have you got anything on this game, Jesse, that you want to bet on?
Yeah, I do, but I'm combining it with the next game too. So
Okay, cool.
I got a Henry and an Andrews touchdown, but just hold off on the rest of it until we get to the Cincinnati game. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you. I got Higgins and Chase, Henry and Andrews, same game, 2-game parlay.
Oh, what's that plus? Do you know?
Yeah, that's plus 1105.
And you want 50 or 100 on that?
50.
Got you.
I think the
John, do you want anything on this game?
Yeah, I'm putting 50 down for the Ravens to cover. And I'm also going to put another 25 down on the over because the Ravens are going to win like 42-3.
You want to make that a parlay?
Sure, why not? Let's just go for it. And I've got a same game parlay that's separate from that I'm going to make, and here it is.
That's plus
right
200,
now.
Scott.
John. Plus 200, and that was 19.5. And who was the other? What was the other bit? Over as well, was it?
Over 41 and a half.
Over 41 and a half.
Mm-hmm. In fact,
Got
I
ya.
think they've already credited the Ravens with 10 points, and there's an hour to go to kickoff.
So I just want to point out that while I'm scrolling down trying to find all of these different contract incentives, I have to remember random names to try and just gauge where I am. So,
Sorry.
Well, that's very good, Max.
example, like I have to remember what team is Harrison Bryant on?
Harrison Bryant.
I know he
no
got.
idea.
I know he got
Harrison
drafted
Bryant.
by the Browns.
He's in Vegas just for the record. So I'm just going through trying to find the Pittsburgh right now.
All right,
John, what was your parlay on
congratulations.
this game?
Yeah, my parlay on this game is Zay Flowers, alt receiving yards, 40+. Lamar Jackson, over 203.5 passing yards. Derrick Henry, over 92.5 rushing yards. And Derrick Henry will score not 1, but 2 touchdowns today.
I kind of like that.
That's plus 939. Yeah, I like that one. I mean, dude. Oh, never mind. See, it's just going to remind me of Chase Brown. Everything's going to remind me of Chase Brown. I'm looking at that Browns helmet, and I'm thinking there's fucking stripes on it. And it reminds me
with
of Chase
games
Brown.
like this, like what really scares me a little bit about putting real money on is they could be playing till halftime, have a 20-point lead, and then be done with it.
Yeah.
You know,
20-point lead's good enough because they'll hold off the Browns.
Have
ain't
you
getting
got
it.
anything in this game, Max?
Just
Apart
$100
from
on
that,
just that, and that's a minus 120, Scotty.
I got it anyway. That's fine. No
All right.
worries. On my one on this one, I want what would 2 Zay Flowers touchdowns and a Derrick Henry anytime touchdown give me?
You got that, Jesse?
you got two. You said 2 what?
2
Two Zay Flowers and a
touchdowns.
Derrick Henry.
And then Derrick Henry, that would be plus 1330.
I'll take that. $50 on that one.
All right, moving right along to Cincinnati and
Big
the Bengals.
game.
The Bengals are favored by
Big
2.5. Over under is
Chase
48
Brown?
and a half.
I hope there's no toilet paper
He's
in
not-
the
he's
fucking
not playing.
bathroom. I don't care. If he's there, I hope there's no toilet paper in the goddamn bathroom at their stadium. He's not going to stay home. And if he does
Is he-
stay home, I hope you step on 2 Legos.
Is he injured, Chase Brown? Or have they just
He did. He hurt himself when he went down.
Injured last week. Yeah.
Right. That's why they had to run a touchdown in, because what he did was try to to run out the clock. Right. Which I hate. Just pile it into the fucking end zone, because you never know what's going to happen. Just fucking do it. You heard, goddamn it, you heard one time that some announcer on TV who doesn't know jack fuck dick said, "Oh, he's such a smart player," and y'all went, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna do that now." And fuck John Taman at the 1 yard line. Fuck you, Chase Brown.
That
the one that fumbled out over the one that fumbled over the side of the pylon,
dude. And the fact that he hurt himself and made them stop the clock because of an injury inside 2 minutes, and then on the next play they just let Burrow pile it over the top for the touchdown. Dude, I was stomping up and down.
So who are we taking in this game?
I got the Bengals, but I am going to put $100 on the over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Obviously, Joe Burrow, Higgins, Chase, they're going to score. But the Steelers, I mean, they're going against the Bengals defense. So I definitely got the Bengals to win as well and cover. I'm going to put a parlay on the Bengals minus the 2.5 and the over with a Higgins touchdown.
He's really come on, by the way.
He has. And it really, I mean, it hasn't taken that much away from Jamar Chase either.
No.
Yeah, that's plus 394. Put 50 on that.
Got you, Jesse. John?
All right, I'm taking the Bengals to cover, minus 2.5. This morning when I went over, because none of these, very few of these games that are coming up on Sunday have any kind of props set up at all for anything, but DraftKings did. So I went over there and looked at that, and this game over there is 1.5. I should have bet it over there. But all right, I'll give me the Bengals giving 2.5 points. I want T. Higgins anytime touchdown. Jamar Chase over 92.5 yards receiving, and Jaylen Warren over 40.5 yards, 40.5. And that is plus 1130. And I want $50 on that. I like pointing at the camera.
I've got that, John. Max, you got anything on this game?
Just for the book, give me a Cincinnati win. And I'll try and do this.
No faith in anything that's going on in this game?
I don't have faith in myself.
All right, well.
So, but for relevance for this game, the only one, so Pittsburgh has no incentives. Cincinnati has one that is going to be on the field based, and that is Mike Gesicki. If Mike Gesicki gets 3 yards, he'll get a $250,000 bonus. And if he gets 2 touchdowns, he'll get $125,000.
He might get both. But I doubt he'll get the touchdowns. T. Higgins is going to snatch him.
Right, so what would it be if you gave me, before we do your big game parlay, Jesse,
yeah,
a T and Chase anytime touchdown and the cover, well, laying the points 2.5 to Cincinnati?
That'd be a 383.
383. I'm going to put 100 on that. Plus 383. And then we've got Jesse's same game parlay.
My same game parlay. I got have won how many times in a row now?
Not. It is Jesse's big, easy money, same game parlay of the week. I mean, damn, that's why we do these things. You got to create some excitement, man. Go ahead. What do we got? All right,
we have a Jamar Chase, 60 alt yards and plus 6 receptions. T. Higgins, 50 plus alt yards, 4 receptions. Joe Burrow, 225 yards. Passing, that is. Jamar Chase, anytime touchdowns. Over on the Steelers side, we have a George Pickens, 40 alt yards, 3 receptions. Russell Wilson, 200 alt passing yards. Jaylen Warren, 25 alt rushing yards. Najee Harris, anytime touchdowns. And a Pat Freiermuth, 25 plus alt yards.
I don't know who Freiermuth is, but I know who Freiermuth is.
Same fucking difference.
I was wondering
1915.
And a Freiermuth in a pear tree. The way he read that thing was going all the way down. I like that bet, except for the Najee Harris.
How much you putting on this?
The Najee. What do you mean Najee Harris?
I just don't know how much.
I'm almost tempted to put 2 rushing touchdowns on that because
it
of
depends.
the Bengals defense.
If they don't have anything to play for in the second game, I don't know that they're gonna play him.
He might not
I think
play.
there'll be more Jalen Warren.
How
That's
how much you putting
that's
on
why it's
this?
called gambling. You're taking the risk that's going to happen.
100.
100 this week. Okay.
Boy, are you taking the
I've got
risk.
it down. Next game then. Oh, game of the week.
There's tons of them.
Yeah.
Get ready for a bunch of bad games on Sunday.
Correct.
This had promised like 4 weeks ago when the fucking Panthers were finding themselves.
Falcons, Panthers. Falcons are at home. 7.5 point favorites. Over under is 48.5. Give me the Falcons for the book. Give me a Bijan and a London anytime touchdown for 50. Let me see if there's odds for that because there wasn't earlier.
All right, I do have something to put on this game, and there was an odds for it earlier. So go ahead, Max.
So, give me $50 on Atlanta to cover the spread, please. And just can we use it? You guys need to giggle real quick.
Go ahead.
So here's a contract incentive that does not have any impact today, but Kirk Cousins will get an $8 million bonus if Atlanta wins the Super Bowl.
Well, okay. Fantastic.
With a 1% chance of them doing that, statistically, it's still
You're
in the
right,
way.
but
Dude,
you know
Salma
what?
Hayek would fuck me if I saw her someplace and managed to get her to really like me and go to some motel with me. But it's a long stretch.
And then the Panthers don't have any notable ones. Jordan Fuller has cashed in $500,000 already because the team improved.
Nice.
He had a 50% snaps and a team improvement, and they have won 2 games more than they did last year.
A team improvement. That's a pat on the head. That's pretty
Scott,
good.
you ready for this? All right, I got a
Just about,
Bijan,
mate.
a Drake London.
I already got Bijan in London
All
anytime.
right, and the Falcons money line plus 209.
Doodly doo.
Plus 209, did you say?
Yep.
$50. Got you. Max is laying the points there. John, what are you doing in this game? Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm taking Atlanta for the book. I also want to do a parlay here that is the Falcons on the money line. I want a Bijan touchdown. I want an Adam Thielen touchdown. Michael Penix over 219.5 passing.
Penis. What was it?
219.5, which
Passing.
would have been your record, wouldn't it?
Probably, yeah.
So
He's
for
telling
those,
us about life on the submarine. Maybe maybe there's more. I don't know.
for those who
I
don't
love
know, we are not that much of degenerates. So the money that we are betting online, even though we do bet online, all 4 of us do, the money that we bet is imaginary for all these
in this
games.
show? Yes, I'm not fucking throwing away.
Yeah,
that
we have
goddamn
we
amount
have
of
an
money. You
imaginary.
gotta be kidding me.
Normally, we have an imaginary $1,000 to $1,500 to play with.
We gave ourselves $1,000 at the beginning of the season, and we've played with that money. Max had to go into the pot probably like 17 times.
Yeah. I ran out by the end of September.
Yeah. So yeah, I should have thought that was obvious. No, I am certainly not that wealthy, and I'm not going to be throwing around that kind of money betting on football, especially as badly as I do it. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that bet that I made last week that Chase Brown ruined for me was $2, but it would have won me like almost $200, which I'll take that.
John, what was your plus on that? By the way, do you know?
Yes, it was. Hang on a minute, I had it right here in front of me. It's plus 1. Oh, that's the other one. No, I don't have it. Hang on 1 second. I'll give it to you. It is plus 568.
Thank you very much.
There you
Got
go.
it there. Okay, on to the next one then, I suppose, because we all took Atlanta. Oh, this is actually a good game, or it should be.
All right, we have the Chicago Bears
game
at
for
the
us.
Green Bay Packers. Packers really don't have nothing to play for, except for
6th
No.
seed.
Oh yeah,
Well-
they could. Yeah, in theory, play for the 6th seed. Is this a 1:00 game? Yeah, this is a 1:00 game, right? So yeah, I guess they do. They're trying to hope that the Commanders lose against the Cowboys, which hopefully that won't happen. Packers are favored by 10.5. Over under is 41.5. Give me the Packers. You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna put 25 on the Bears to cover, but Packers to win.
Question: what is the coldest temperature that Caleb Williams has ever played in? Because the high tomorrow in Green Bay is expected to be 21.
Well, he's from here. He's from D.C.
Yeah.
He played at Oklahoma.
Yeah, it gets cold
So-
there. All right, so this Toyota-thon stuff with Jordan Love. All right, I just don't think it's gonna. Yeah, I could see the Bears doing it just to fuck everything up for their offseason. I mean, I'm not one of those people that thinks that you should lose just for draft position, and I know every other player out there, that's not how they think. I could just see it happening. So you know what? For the book, I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking that 10.5 points, and I'm going to put $50 down on it.
So, did you know they uncovered an
He
ancient
says,
relic in Estonia that says that Eberflus means John Tam is an idiot for trying to pick the Bears to beat the Packers in Week
I'm taking the
18?
Bears to beat the Packers in Green
Packers
Bay
are winning the game.
because that's the most
It was-
asinine thing that they could do, and I think that's
You're
what's going
wrong.
to happen.
You're wrong, Max. It was written on the back of Tutankhamun's, what he was buried in his headscarf.
John Taman is a moron.
Give me the Packers for the book, please.
Packers, yeah, got you too.
I'm taking the
also
Packers
with
to
the
win,
Packers.
but I want the Bears. I know I said for the book because I was just talking, but the Packers are going to win. But I am taking the Bears. No, what? You know what? Fuck it. I'm standing on my goddamn ground and I'm pointing at the camera. This is emphatic, Scotty.
Hey,
Put it down in ink, buddy.
Remember 30 minutes ago you said you're not going to swear as much because this is a family program?
Well, I tell you what, I'm sure people swear in your family, and if they don't, well, fuck, what the hell's the matter with y'all? You go to fucking church all the time where you're not allowed to talk and shit? Look, you know what I won't do? I won't say anything about fucking penguins. I won't talk about, the usual things that make people say, what the fuck is he talking about?
Virginia McCaskey.
Virginia McCaskey. I thought I made her a fair offer. I thought I made her a fair offer.
I mean,
That's still one of the greatest ever.
for licking what would you want from her for you licking her butthole?
We're not talking about this. No.
Beat the Packers. Tell you what, Virginia McCaskey, beat the Packers tomorrow, and I will give you that little. I'll give you that. That's right.
Give me a thumbs up when I'm good.
You're good.
Wait, there's my phone.
Is that McCaskey right there?
Hey, Virginia, how you doing? She's on a 2-piece cell phone. Hello, John.
She's dialed it in and rung it round.
That's right. She's got the 2-piece
Scotland's
cell phone. Get him on the wireless. Hi.
Hello. Who can
He's
I direct
promised
your
to
call?
give me a dusting.
No,
right.
go on.
Jesus Christ. We actually have 47 people watching this right now.
Look, they understand. Wouldn't it be fun to watch the Bears beat the Packers tomorrow? I'll tell you
That
what.
would be
it
fun.
Would be. I would give
not gonna
Virginia
happen, but it would be
McCaskey a
fun.
rim job just so that I could get a video of Adam Rank fucking crying in a corner in a fetal position after they go ahead and beat the Packers.
Yeah.
That's right. And then hire Ron Rivera.
And we all picked this game.
That's part of the deal, Virginia.
Oh, God.
There you go. Don't give
My
me.
dad. Look, y'all. You think
my
he's ridiculous?
dad.
Just
That's my dad.
earmuffs.
My goodness, that boy, he's got a hell of an imagination on him, and I hope he's got a very nimble tongue.
Anyway, let's get
Oh
started.
my word. Move on.
All right, Scotty, moving on.
Earmuffs.
I don't know where we are. I can't remember what
All
we
right,
were talking about.
who picked?
I'm all
Has
on
everybody
Twitter,
picked this
Virginia
game?
McCaskey.
Yes.
Yeah, Green Bay.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Houston and
let's
Tennessee.
move along.
Go
How
Bears.
is Tennessee favored? How is Tennessee favored in this game?
Because
don't know.
Nobody's playing and
Mixon
everybody's
has
sitting.
People?
Everybody's sitting.
There's nobody.
I don't think Stroud's playing, is he?
Yeah, no, I don't
that
think
matters.
none of them are
He
playing.
hasn't been good. So does that mean we get
Stroud's
the,
been good. Texans haven't
Oh,
really been.
we get to see the long neck himself, don't we?
Will
Yes, we
Levis
get
is
the-
starting.
We get the smooth
Oh no,
roasted,
Davis Mills.
we get the smooth roasted flavor of Davis Mills.
The smooth roasted flavor. Davis Mills.
Davis Mills, when quarterbacking tastes like early morning in the country. Yum.
It does sound like a coffee commercial.
He does. It
doesn't
sounds
Davis
like a coffee
Mills?
commercial. Davis Mills. When some long neck motherfucker is in front of you at the movies, and it turns out to be an NFL quarterback, you know it's Davis Mills.
The thing is, though, I still don't know who had the longest neck. Is it him or is it Glennon?
Oh,
I
you
can't
don't know
work
who
it
Merton
out.
Hanks was.
But Mike
Merton
Glennon.
Hanks.
Mike Glennon had a Ticonderoga tattoo along the side of his neck, and there was room to spare on each side.
Merton Hanks played for the 49ers.
Man went for a neck tattoo and they charged him for a sleeve.
Merton Hanks played for the 49ers in the 80s and the 90s and was voted the best deep throat in San Francisco. And that will tell you how long his neck was.
Right.
Somebody did it. Somebody mimicked his celebration the other day. I can't remember who it was, but it was pretty
So
Merton Hanks
the only lines.
So
that-
to give
that
you a
draft-
little, so real quick,
Whiplash.
just because this is relevant, D'Amico Ryan said that everyone on the roster needs to be ready to play on Sunday.
Put that down in the book there, Scotty.
Well,
That's some
they,
serious
That's some
official
serious
football
football knowledge,
right
that in it.
Yeah.
Everyone
they've
has to
lost
be ready.
3 games in a row, and
That's some Norv Turner-esque bullshit right there.
It doesn't affect their seeding at all, though, does it?
their seeding's not going to matter, but it's momentum based.
Yeah, they've won the AFC South.
They've won the division, but they've lost 2 in a row badly.
The
put
only
up a-
Dude, what are you talking about badly? They scored 2 points last week.
the only odds they have is for a correct score in this game.
Jeez.
Joe Mixon has
Nothing
Joe
else.
Mixon has a very attainable, and he's not going to play. He's got a very attainable bonus, if I remember. He needs something like 67 yards rushing.
They got nothing. Who knows? But I'm gonna pick.
Not gonna
I'm
make
gonna pick the. Fuck.
You just can't do it, Rick, can you?
I'm gonna pick the Texans.
I'm going the opposite
Right,
way.
okay.
I'm picking Titans and Mayonnaise Boy.
Joe Mixon needs 107 yards to get 250K.
That's makeable. I thought it was like 60-some, but that's makeable.
What
still.
are you taking, Max?
Nothing. Oh, okay, go ahead, man.
Give me the Texans for the book.
Texans. Yeah,
I
I've got
think
the
Davis
Texans
Mills is a
too.
better quarterback than Will Levis.
I do too, actually. But there you go. I'm going to take the under in this game as well. I'm going to put 50 on the under. I think Houston could score like 0, and the Titans could score 10, and that would be that. 36
Speaking
and
of
a
which-
half.
I'll put 50 on the under.
That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, 50 on the under.
Mm-hmm.
Houston v 10.
It's only 36. Jesus.
I know,
36 and a
yeah.
half.
Because, Davis Mills and his neck account for half a point.
All right.
He does. When he's wearing his shoulder pads, he looks like a turtle that's stretching in the morning.
So at 4th and 2 and a quarterback sneak, he's okay. He's
Well, as long
already
as he can
onside.
he's got to get the ball over. He's got to put it in his mouth and then crane it out over
Just
there.
lean forward. Yeah.
Only the finest beans are selected for Davis Mills.
Fucking shut up.
Okay,
Even the
so
dog
All right.
likes
What do we
Davis
got?
Mills.
Max, who do you got?
Oh,
he's got it. He's got it. Houston.
Okay.
We're all good.
We're good. All right.
We're
Moving
moving
right
along.
along here.
Oh, great game.
Another barf game.
So real quick, I just got to ask Scott: when Karen watches this game, is she going to be upset? Is she going to be throwing the laptop around? Like,
No, she just said her very words were, "We beat the Colts earlier in the season. Fuck the Colts." And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So she thinks they're winning this game, and I do too. Actually, they're on a 2-game winning streak. The Jags.
Is
Colts look shit.
Flacco? Is Flacco?
no, they're starting. I saw this earlier today. Hold on. Hang on. Who are they starting?
The Colts?
They're not starting Flacco.
Well, that's
Snotty.
who is. That's who is.
No, it's not Richardson, surely.
No, it's not Richardson. It's some other bum. Hang on.
FanDuel expects them to start Flacco.
Is it Sam Ellinger?
No, I
That's
might
who's
not
on
be
their
thinking
depth
of the
chart.
Colts. I might be wrong. Hang on.
All right.
Let me do a
Joe
little vision.
Flacco to
Live
start.
here on the Bleeding
Apparently,
Burgundy podcast.
it says Joe Flacco to start as Colts QB. That was
Yeah,
a long day ago.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm taking the Jaguars.
Yeah,
Now,
Jordan, I
those
think this
3.5
is not a. Has anybody else seen that Jalen Hurts is going to start?
No,
Is he?
he's out.
Yeah, no.
He's out.
Sorry, Jordan, that was fake. It's fake news.
Is it Sam Ellinger that's going to start then?
No, it's
He's
Joe
the
Flacco.
Third on the depth chart.
It's Joe Flacco.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
See, the sack leaders have 16 is 14. That's not even low to you. You know, it does seem kind of low considering lately it's been much higher, and they've got an extra game now. But
True.
hey, maybe offense.
Yeah, but a lot of edge rushers are getting hurt this year. You know, T.J. Watt got hurt. Myles Garrett got hurt. Like, there's been a lot of injuries.
Got hurt like 2 weeks ago.
And there's a lot of rookie edges who've just come out as well that are kind of number one edges for a lot of teams. So that's maybe why. Max, who have you got in this game?
Because I think the Bengals are going to make the playoffs, give me the Jags for the win.
Nice. I got the Jags. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the
Jesse?
Jags in this game too. I want to put a 2 touchdowns for
Ooh, yeah.
Brian Thomas.
Jr. Yeah.
BTJ.
I would like to point out that in my new, much more mature approach to the podcast, that when somebody was
that
speaking
is
about
that
fucking the
50?
Colts, I didn't make any
Yes, sir.
disgusting jokes or anything like that would
Yeah, we
no,
appreciate
put
it's
a bad
too-
light on this podcast.
We
appreciate that.
appreciate it.
Do you want anything on this game at all, John? Any
Public
parlays or not at all?
No, I don't want to put anything on this football game.
I
Oh,
do.
you know what? I do. I want $50 on the Jags. Give me those 3.5 points. That's what I want.
Okay.
All of
Just
us
the
are
hell with
getting a
Joe
Christmas
Flacco.
card from the Hartleys next year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, you know, they surprised me last week, and I think the Colts are a bunch of schmucks, to be quite frank. Now, if you just said fuck the schmucks, well, I'd have made a joke about fucking some schmucks. But instead, you said fuck the Colts. And here's Scott's pisser of the week.
Yeah, 2 seconds before we get into that. I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. anytime touchdown, and I'm also going to take a Tank Bigsby anytime touchdown. For Fig,
John,
if he's playing.
this was last week's pisser of the
Is it?
week.
Hang on a minute. I'll get it.
Yeah, that's last week's. Yeah.
New Orleans and
Sorry,
Tampa play the. No, that was right. New Orleans and Tampa
it?
play tomorrow.
It might be.
It should,
yeah, hang on.
it should be
Yeah, that is
Lamar
right, that
Jackson
is
at the
right.
top.
Yeah,
It
that
should
is
be
right,
Lamar
that is
Jackson
right.
at the top.
Yeah,
1738. Good old Fetty Wap.
that's right. Yeah, 1738. So Lamar Jackson with 1.5 passing touchdowns. The Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. A Zay Flowers anytime touchdown. A Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown. A Bucky Irvin anytime touchdown. And Tampa taking laying the points, or sorry, under even 45.5 points is where I've gone with for that one. I'm going to put.
All right, well, there you go.
Right. If
There
you want
is,
to piss some
Scott's
money
pisser
away,
of the
you
week.
make that bet.
Scott's pisser of the week. There you go.
All right.
All right. We have the Bills and Patriots. Bills are favored by 3. Over under is 36.5. Bills don't really have anything to play for. Obviously, I'm still going to pick them to. Well, you know what? I don't. Have they stated that they're sitting everybody, Max?
I haven't. Again, I haven't.
Yeah,
seen
Josh
anything
Allen
about
is
it.
definitely sitting. Definitely.
There's no
Josh
props
Allen.
on this game on FanDuel
At
at
all.
all,
Nothing.
other than quarterbacks.
Yes, they are
and
resting
quarterbacks.
people.
Okay. All right.
And
Now,
Drake May's obviously, it's not bad.
you know what? Mr. Trubisky against Drake May. I'm going to flip the script here and put my game picks on the line here, and I'm going to take the Patriots to win.
No way.
I mean, same. Give me the Patriots.
Okay.
I think Gerard Mayo's still getting fired on Monday, but
Do you actually think he's going to get fired?
yes.
Yeah. I think so. And I'll pile on. I'll take the Patriots too, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my money where my mouth is, and I'll put $50 down and give me those 3 points. I'm also gonna say give me the under 36.5. Parlay those two together. And wait, what?
No, you go. Because
I got one more that I want to put on this parlay here, and it is this is not. I don't know what the odds will be on this, but give me a Ray Davis touchdown. Because there's nothing on FanDuel for it. I guess I could go look on DraftKings for it. But
who? Yeah, I mean, we could.
Ray Davis.
There'll probably be some odds tomorrow morning once, there's a little bit clearer sense of who's in, who's out.
So that all three of those in a parlay. Patriots getting 3.
Yeah.
Under 36.5 and a Ray Davis Buffalo Bills touchdown.
I've got it.
Damn, I got something.
So I'm going to stick. You're all going for New England. I'm going to go for Buffalo. So I just think Buffalo will win this game. Okay. Next.
Lone Wolf.
Oh.
Shit of the week right here. 2 shit teams playing a shit game and shitting all over each other. Fuck the Eagles. Fuck the Giants. Eagles are favored by 2.5. Over-under's 37.5. Who the fuck is playing quarterback? Is it fucking
Tanner McKee?
Tanner
Oh,
McKee?
God.
What fucking kind of name is that?
Is it Drew Lock playing for New York as well?
Yes.
Oh.
Drew Lock didn't Drew Lock have a good game last week?
He did.
He had
Because he threw the ball. They put up 40 points.
Wow.
It's the first time they've put up 40 points, I think, in 6 years.
Oh, man.
My name is George. I'm unemployed.
We're in that one, are we?
But I'm going to say the Giants are going to win the game.
I'm so tempted taking the Giants.
The Eagles have nothing to play for. Why are they
And
even
it's
going
not
to try?
It's not really even for
You can't
I
get
think the Giants are going to win. I just want to see the Eagles lose.
You just want to see the Eagles lose so you can laugh at Jordan. We know
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But I guess the big question is where's J&J watching the games tomorrow?
I'm going to watch them at home. I'm under the weather. So. Yeah.
Welcome back, Boss.
Sorry, I had to go get a cough drop, man.
Jesse's in trouble now, boys.
Yes. So, John, who are you taking in this game? Because it's going to be.
I'm going to take the Giants.
Wow, we're all taking the Giants.
I'm taking the Giants. I'm glad I missed whatever that was because I would definitely
fuck the
make
Giants.
some inappropriate comments.
Fuck both of them. I'm taking the Giants too. Fuck it.
We're all taking the Giants.
No, I'm taking the Giants because the
tomorrow
Eagles
like
are
this.
sitting everybody. I think that's the case. You're basically going to get the Giants first string against the Eagles second and third. And even though I think the Eagles, they have some players that are going to be halfway decent out there. Kenneth Gainwell, I like the way he plays.
Let's talk about this for a second. I think what the Eagles are doing to Saquon Barkley is outright fucked up. You don't get this chance to break such a monumentous record like the fucking Russian record. I mean, Saquon has had a fucking phenomenal season.
And the
He
other
wants
thing
it.
is,
You can tell that he wants it.
Imagine doing it against your former team as well. Just to say, there
A division
you go,
rival,
get
too.
one of them.
I mean,
exactly.
This is what you get when you get a coach like Nick Sirianni, pictured here.
He's not even a coach. He's a fucking figurehead in the fucking locker room. That's all he is. He doesn't fucking run that team.
Jesse, you're just asking for it. You get off the
I'm just speaking the truth.
I mean,
on this game, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to put $100 on the Giants plus the 2.5.
There you go. That's what I like to see.
Come on, Drew Lock.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like the Eagles. I don't like either of these teams, obviously, for obvious reasons. But I just think that, as you said, John, you've got their defense going up against the Eagles. You might get a defensive score as well. Kayvon Thibodeau's no bum. Neither's Brian Burns.
You can't sit everybody. I don't.
No, but you can play it like a preseason game. Excuse me. Sorry, I got a cough drop. And I think that the Giants are they liked winning last week. All right, I think the Eagles are going to be looking ahead. It's not that I think the Eagles are a bad team, obviously, but I think that the Giants are probably just going to make John Mara sit in a puddle of his own piss and cry a little bit this weekend because his draft choice keeps getting further and further away.
Rumors are, though, that the Dayball is gone, so no more Dildo Dayball. He'll be gone.
Butt plug Dable, yeah.
But yeah, Butt plug Dable even, yeah.
Right, well, he's lost a lot of weight.
Do we have that picture, John, just for...
Butt plug Dable?
Yeah.
No, I don't, but I do have the video
it.
that I was looking for last week of Jesse on the first ever episode of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. So here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse Marks.
What is going on? Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast. It is Tuesday, May 25th.
Just a short little clip there.
You're such a dick.
All right. No, I do. I think the Giants are going to be a little high off of last week, and the Eagles are going to be just looking ahead a little bit. And I think that they don't care. That's what I think. I think the Eagles, even if they look up at the scoreboard, it's 28-0, they're losing. They're going to go, fuck it. Who gives a shit? This could be a hot dog.
The thing is, though,
except for Barkley, because I agree. Barkley should get the chance.
If they don't make the Super Bowl and he doesn't win it, obviously, what he's going to be looking back at this season, going, "Why the fuck didn't I break the record?" Because would he get it?
No, they're not making. They're not making the Super Bowl. Let's not get carried away. But you're right.
When Adrian Peterson was 9 yards short, that was the big thing then too. It's just
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, people get kind of bent because Eric Dickerson doesn't want him to break the record, and I'm all right with that.
No, really.
Yeah,
well,
it's a record that stood for 40 years. You mean you don't want it broken? Come on now.
He doesn't want it broken.
But the thing is, a lot of people are coming out and saying, "But it needs to have asterisks on it because we're playing two more games." Well, guess what? When Eric Dickerson broke the record from OJ, guess what?
2 extra games.
Two extra games.
And it's been 40 fucking years.
Football evolves, but then again, so it's also harder, and everybody can play their little games where they want to compare era to era, but you really can't, and that's all there is to it. I think that if you gave Eric Dickerson an opportunity to play today, he'd get killed. I mean, what is he, 66 or something like that? 67 years old? He'd get the shit kicked out of him.
I mean, unless he's...
No, I'm old. I remember Eric Dickerson quite well, all right? And that dude, he was unlike anybody I saw in a long time. I mean, I saw Walter Payton and all that. I still think he's the best ever that I ever saw. But
could you honestly, could you imagine Walter Payton playing in today's game? Do you think he would be as successful as he was?
Peyton would have been, yeah. Now, see, Dickerson, on the other hand, the thing about Dickerson, like, if you look at players today, I said this, we were watching this the other day. I'm watching some of these college games. I'm watching pro football, and I see knees. Players don't wear pads anymore, and they're wearing, like, shorts out there, and it's like, I can see your knees, and it's not that I have any problem with knees, but Jesus Christ, you're playing football, and that weirds me out that you don't at least have knee pads on. Eric Dickerson used to go out armored like a knight. That dude had every piece of equipment that he could fucking possibly put on himself to put on, and when he turned the corner,
that fucking neck roll too.
Everything, and his shoulder pads were out to here. You can't really tell, but they're way out here. And when he turned the corner, it was like a 90-degree turn. He didn't just hit it softly and then hit up. He would he'd run straight out there, and then that whole fucking armored thing would just turn like a tank, and then up he'd go. Fast as hell. Oh, dude, he was an armored up, strong fucking running back that had speed.
There are very few players across the league, like any position, that you can say would actually would exceed any era. If you take Joe Burrow with 4,600 yards now and put him 20 years ago, would he be the same quarterback? Probably not.
No, he wouldn't even. He'd be, what, 4 years old? 5?
God, you're...
I know, I'm stupid. That's what happens when you give me a cough drop. I get all silly. When you talk about things like that, right? Now, we might as well open the can of worms here. Guys like Jim Brown, all right? Guys like Eric Dickerson. Guys like Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. When you compare eras and things like that, you got to recognize that if you're trying to talk to me about a guy that played back then and whether he could play now, the knowledge that they have now of training, nutrition, the equipment that they're able to work their bodies, the fact that it's a 24 or a 365 day a year job now, back in those days, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, they had full-time jobs outside of fucking football.
Yeah, O.J. Simpson used to, after he played for the Bills, he'd go up into Canada and he'd kill people. It was part of his job.
Jesus the juice is loose, everybody.
That's right. He would go up into Canada, and he was a hitman for the Canadian government. But if you gave Jim Brown the opportunity, if you put Jim Brown now at the age of like 20, 22, and gave him the same training and the same nutrition, my God, nobody'd stop him.
I mean, Jim Brown played for 9 years, and he was on the All-Century team.
And then he made movies. He made movies.
But
all right, so now that we've
Barkley
gotten all
should
off
be playing. They should be
Yeah.
getting that record. It's not going to. He's probably not going to come close to it again. I think it's a shame, and Nick Sirianni should fucking be tarred and feathered, set on fire.
Ooh, for Nick Sirianni. All right, what's the next game we got there?
All right, this is an important game for the Commanders. We have the Saints and the Bucks. As Max said earlier, their safety, starting free safety, Whitehead got in a car accident, probably going to be out. But I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Give me the Bucks.
Is anyone not taking the Bucks here?
I'm taking the Bucks, and I'm going to put together a couple of things here.
I'm taking the Bucks. I'm just looking to see if there's any notable contracts.
Go ahead,
John, go ahead with your parlay.
All right, I'm working it out right now, so give me 1 second here.
Mike Evans is 5 catches and 85 yards away from what looks like $3 million.
He'll get that.
Everything else is kind of not attainable. So that's the big thing is Mike Evans is looking at a $3 million payday.
All right, so here's what I got. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready with the plume there, Scribe? All right, I got Mike Evans over 6.5 receptions. Mike Evans over 94.5 yards receiving. Mike Evans to score 2 touchdowns. And Baker Mayfield over 249.5 yards passing. And there it is. And I want to put $50 down on that. It's plus 783.
Gotcha.
Make sure you write it all down in the book there, Scotty.
I've got it. Anyone else want to put anything on this game?
No. Bunch of pansies.
I've already got Bucky Irving touchdown, so I'm good.
You do. I'll tell you what, just for fun, give me $50 and I'm going to say the Bucks are covering. 14.5 points. Put them all down. I'm taking it. They are. They're going to thrash the Saints. They're going to treat the Saints like Joan of Arc.
Next one, Kansas City and Denver. Ooh.
Now this is a good game right here.
Maybe.
Carson Wentz under center.
Carson Wentz,
Come
though,
on,
boy.
man.
Look, so I was at my dad's house earlier today, and we were talking about this game, and I said, hey, the Chiefs have to start Carson Wentz, and his eyes got about this big as he was starting to laugh about Carson Wentz under center for the Chiefs tomorrow.
Yeah, that ain't going to be pretty.
That will not be pretty.
Broncos have to have this game, and they probably will have it, but I'm going to say the Chiefs cover because Andy Reid's a fucking genius.
So for the book, who are you saying's winning? Denver?
Denver, but put me $50 on the
Chiefs.
plus 10.5 Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a genius, but think of it this way. They said Picasso was a genius, right? But if all he had to work with was dog shit, then his paintings would literally stink. And Andy Reid, the genius, his quarterback
That
this
was
week.
so prophetic of you.
This is as apt of an analogy as I can give you. His quarterback this week is a big plate full of dog shit. And I tell you, I think that I do like the Broncos to win and to cover. They're going to the playoffs. So go ahead and give me that for $50.
Carson Wentz, even with us, had a good game every 3 or 4 games. And I think
yeah, but
Carson
he hasn't
Wentz
played
has
any games. And I don't think that he's going to have a good one. Nope, he's going to be up in the mile-high air up there going, God dang. Football.
Sometimes like Wentz will just carve something out, and you never know. You never know.
Yeah. He's going to
Max?
carve out the Chiefs hard if they got anything worried about on this game.
So, for me, I have thought for about a month since they got hot that the Bengals are going to make the playoffs. In order for that to happen, the Chiefs have to win this game. Give me the Chiefs money line. Give me $100 on it. That's a plus 410.
I like it.
The Chiefs are going to win this game. I think the Broncos are going to choke this game away. Bo Nix is just going to fold.
I have just a tiny. I'm with you, Max. For some reason, I don't know. I just got a nagging thought that the Chiefs might pull this shit out.
I just think they're going to fold.
I don't think they care.
Because
Broncos,
apparently Deluxe
it's not like they're coached
yeah,
badly. They've got a good coach.
I was going to wait for the game to read this Deluxe, but I can read it to you now.
Can you star that?
Well, I mean,
so
I
we
can just
come
read
back
it to you right now. It's not a problem. Eckler's been activated.
I told y'all not any one of y'all believed it. I told y'all he's coming back.
Oh, hang on. The roster move that is coincided with that is our favorite undrafted safety, Tyler Owens, has been placed on IR.
Poor spaceman himself.
Bobby Hart and Bobby Price were elevated from the practice squad for tomorrow.
Who the fuck are they?
Now,
Offensive lineman.
Dad, do you
I
remember?
have no idea who they are.
Bobby Hart is the lineman. Do you remember Vic DiBattista?
Yes.
Bobby Hart.
Bobby Hart. That's right. Bobby Hart.
Scotty, Bobby Hart was a starter for the Giants who got benched after 3 plays.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bobby Hart. That's right, he did.
And he's just been called up to the active roster.
He did get called up, yes. Probably as a backup right tackle, if I'm going to guess anything.
Must mean that Cornelius Lucas is not.
I'm going to send y'all. Aaron Rodgers just got fined for unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, because he hit someone out of bounds.
Did you see the referee was laughing when he called it on him? He was laughing. He couldn't believe he had to call it on a
Did you see the hit out of bounds?
Yeah, he pushed him.
He barely touched him.
Yeah, but you know what? If he did that to him, he'd get the flag. So, yeah, I thought it was funny that they threw the flag.
$11,000 for that shit.
Yeah, but for him, that's like blowing his nose into a Kleenex.
So what? Well. He still has the right to. He still got to stroke the check. So fuck him. I thought
All
it was
right,
funny. And I
Chargers.
thought that the referee was laughing about it. That was pretty cute.
The
Before
Chargers.
you get off the Chiefs real quick, I do have something I wanted to show you. It's
Okay.
uploading here, and this is the thing I'll always remember about Carson Wentz was, when he'd get that wild hair up his ass, and we were thinking that he was running that RPO. And here it's processing. Everything takes processing.
I mean, never forget, Carson Wentz broke his hand in Chicago and then still beat the Bears. So
It's true. He can have a
Broncos
game
aren't
here
the
and
Bears.
there.
He can, but is here Denver or there Denver? I don't know that it is. It might here and there might be Poughkeepsie, New York, or Des Moines, Iowa.
Before he broke his back, he was going to be an MVP in the league.
He was, but that was 7 years ago now.
Yeah, I like the way you preface that before he broke his back.
Before he broke his back.
That's true.
Well, no, before that was the year that his knee got destroyed when he was.
Well, that was the year before. His knee got destroyed,
MVP, right?
and then they won the Super Bowl, and then the next year he came back, and he broke his back in like early December, and and I remember that there was a news clip saying Carson Wentz fractured back. The Eagles will pursue options if he can't play. It's like
I remember
shit,
that.
he can't play.
He was questionable. Oh well, this is long. I don't know why this is long. This should not be what that is. So forget it. Never mind.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
So
Moving
LA
on.
Chargers
Carry on.
Versus Vegas.
Yes, Chargers and the Raiders.
And the Raiders.
Can you imagine going into the office and getting fired by Mark Davis? That's stupid.
Do you
looking
think
I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to contain my laughter from looking at
Do you
his
think he would have his backpack on?
I got to tell you something there. We expected more out of you, and I'm afraid that you're going to have to terminate your employment here with us with the Las Vegas Raiders.
God, he's such a twit.
He's probably gonna be
Chargers
like,
are favored by 4.5.
Tom, go tell him it's fine.
Under is 40.5. Give me the Chargers all day long.
Yeah,
I hate those Chargers. My son has turned this team into a laughing stock. I'll take the Chargers. I want to give it 4.5 points. Go ahead, Maxwell.
I've got a few.
All right,
First off, for the book for you, Scotty, give me the Chargers.
Okay.
We're
All right.
going out of turn here, I think.
Well, you know what? Stop it.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to complain. Go ahead.
So J.K. Dobbins is 58 yards away from 150K. Christian Fulton is an interception away from 125. Bud Dupree is 1 sack away from 250. And Joey Bosa is 4.5 away from $1 million. Hey, he might get that.
Yeah, is it O'Connell this week? Aiden
Yeah.
O'Connell?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like it matters.
Do you want anything on this? Do you want any bets on this, John?
Yeah, I want to put $50 down on the Chargers and give those 4.5 points. That's what I want to do. I also want to put $50 down. Actually, parlay it, and I'm going to go take the over as well.
Okay.
Chargers are going to mash them.
Jesse, you got anything for this game?
Not a damn thing.
Alexander Madison is 8 catches away from 125,000, and that's about it.
I'm going to go 4.5 LA Chargers, laying them points, and I'm going to take a Lad McConkey touchdown if he's
Okay.
playing.
There's the lad.
And that's $100 for me on that one.
What if he would have been named if he would have been a girl? Would they have named him Lass, you think?
Lass McConkey, yeah.
Lass McConkey. That's a hell of a name there.
All right, we got
Wow.
If it was a
James
girl, I'd have been, probably.
How many people are watching?
55.
Yeah, here's my parlay card for the week right here.
There we go, John.
All right, I'm taking the Bengals minus 2.5. That's in a couple hours here, and they're going to win that game, I think, handily. They'll whoop up on the Steelers. I'm going to take the Jets minus 1.5. Those are words I didn't think I would say, but I think they're going to do it this week. They're going to take the Dolphins down. The Dolphins, they're not going to have anything left to play for after the Broncos game. But aren't they on at the same time? I'm not sure. But yeah, give me the Jets. Saints Bucks are going over 43.5. Texans Titans are going under 36.5. And the Vikings Lions are going over 56.5 for a plus 26-14. Scotty put me down for $100 on John's big parlay card of the week.
Gotcha.
Oh, I didn't have any music for that. So there it was. Ta-da. Bet
Next
accordingly.
game.
But don't listen to
All
me.
right, we have the Seahawks and the Rams. Seahawks are favored. Rams ain't playing nobody.
So, go
yeah.
ahead, Jesse.
No, over-under's 38.5. Seahawks by 6.5. And Max is probably going to pick the Rams anyways to win.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm picking the Seahawks. So Geno Smith has he has up to $10 million, but he has a realistic $4 million chance here for this game.
Okay.
If they
What's he gonna
win, he will have 10 wins for the season, which is a $2 million bonus. And if he gets 185 passing yards, that's another $2 million.
Oh, yeah. He's probably cashing in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Seahawks for the book.
I got the Seahawks too. Jesse, what says you? Seahawks?
Yeah, Seahawks are winning.
Seahawks are winning,
John?
and they're going to win by more than a touchdown because the Rams don't care. They're not going to do anything about it. The Seahawks are going to hit some of these bonuses for him, and I'm going to go ahead and take that for $50.
Okay.
I think the over-under is just about right.
All right, Dolphins, Jets. No one gives us two shits about this game.
Now, I have something interesting about this game, but I'll wait for a second.
All right,
Well, then
Jets
why the hell do you
are
even open your
favored
mouth?
by
Jesus
a point and a
Christ.
half. Over under is 38.5.
You know it. It's Aaron Rodgers. You know it.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's Aaron
give me the
Rodgers.
Jets. Give me the fucking Jets.
He's got a fucking attitude now, man. That dude's throwing freaking haymakers on the sidelines, man, getting 15-yard penalties and shit. So,
I'll take out. I don't know. Miami's not out of it, right?
No.
if they
win,
could be.
If
Yeah.
they win and Kansas City wins, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's not. Tua is not playing.
Correct.
Tua
It is
is not
Tyler
playing.
Huntley.
Tour.
Tour is not.
Yeah. So what needs to happen for the Bengals to win? They got to win. Miami's got to lose, and who else has to lose?
Denver has to lose.
Denver has to lose.
So if Kansas City wins and Miami wins, Miami's in.
Miami's
If
in.
If Miami loses and Kansas City wins, Cincinnati's in.
Yeah, I want to see Cincinnati in the playoffs. I think they're a good team. I want to see them.
Wait
Yeah.
a second. Wait.
They're
They're good. They're a good offense.
They're half a team.
True.
That'll make
Okay,
it for
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
That'll make it
Look,
fun.
if they have to go play Buffalo next week, that could be a 80-80 game.
Yeah, that's the excitement factor of it. I personally don't think anybody wants to see the Bengals in the postseason because their offense is clicking on all cylinders.
Joe Burrow, every year he's been in the league, deep playoff run, or he's been hurt. That's
Correct.
it.
Yeah,
John, are
Give me
you
Jets.
taking the Jets in as well?
I am taking the Jets. I've got them on my parlay card. I'm taking the Jets -1.5 for $50. Mike McDaniel, he doesn't have it left in the tank anymore for this team, and I think that they're going to pack it in. And I think that, honestly, the Jets are going to fall apart. They're already falling apart, and they're going to blow this whole thing up 3 hours after this game is over. I think that this would be. Yeah, I think they are, and I think that the ultimate fuck you is that Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there and have himself a game. He's going to hit Devontae Adams for 2 touchdowns or something like that. Breece Hall's going to break out now that everybody's fantasy season is over. He's going to have a big day. And they're going to mash the fucking Dolphins, and that's the way. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. It's cold up there too, man. It's going to be cold tomorrow.
And
so
the
yeah,
Dolphins
I think the
don't
Dolphins.
play well in the cold.
Would we imagine that? They're from Miami for one thing, and for another thing, they're aquatic mammals. And they don't play well out of water at all. And I just don't think they're going to be able to do anything against the Jets. And that'll be, Aaron Rodgers' final fuck you to the Jets. I got to turn the light on.
Before we finish, we'll get on to something after we've done the game of the week, obviously, and we've come back to it. We'll move on to this next one quickly because we've been going
say my
ages.
pick. I got to say my
dude.
pick. Golly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The Jets are going to give me the Jets for the book. But the Dolphins, I heard this during the game last week. They have Calais Campbell as a defensive tackle.
They just picked him up, right? Or no, they cut him, didn't they?
They will cut him once they're eliminated. So that way he can try and sign with a contender to win a ring.
Okay.
He had that worked out in his
Bring him
contract.
on over.
I thought they already cut him, but I guess
No.
not.
I mean,
So,
if
all
they
right.
did, then I think it's a breach of contract.
Hey, we'll take them.
I'd definitely get for a
Fuck
playoff
yeah.
run. Give me Calais Campbell. Hell yeah, that man's a playmaker.
All right, let's see.
All right, 2 more.
We're getting up
3
on
more.
kickoff here. Yeah, we're getting up on kickoff.
All right, Cardinals, 49ers. Give me the Cardinals.
Ditto.
You know what? I'll take the Cardinals too, but I'm not touching anything about this game because fuck the 49ers, man. They fucked me in the last 2 goddamn weeks, and to hell with them. But they didn't fuck me nearly as bad as Chase Brown. Chase Brown, honest to God, I hope you go to fucking IHOP and you get a pancake with something small, round, and brown in it, and it tastes a little bitter, and you're not sure what it is, but you swallow it before you figure it out. And I want you to wonder all day what you ate.
I'm on
Travis
an
Kelce
island
got-
here. I'm going to take San Francisco.
Okay.
You gotta know how to lay a
Travis
curse on
Kelce
that.
got fined $14,000 for dunking the ball over the crossbar.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Game of the year.
Game of the week. This is game of the year. Yeah, man.
This right here is for
Everything in the
the
NFC.
NFC North Division and the the bye and the playoffs for the number 1 overall seed. Lions are favored by 2.5. Over under is 56.5. Man, this is going to be a good game.
They just activated Alex Anzalone to come back to help that defense.
There you go. Much needed. I've been on the Lions bandwagon for 2 years plus, and I'm going to stay on it. Give me the Lions beating the Vikings. Give me a Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown, and give me the over on Goff's passing yards.
All right. I'm taking the Vikings.
They're
They're going to go in there and they're going to win. Give me those 2.5 points. Give me the Vikings and $50 on that. It's going to go over. I want $50 on the over as well. And I don't see any parlays yet to build on this game.
Yeah, that's the funny one. I don't see the parlays on that either. So
Yeah, that's
over
really
the-
good. I've already made like
Everybody's
6
gonna
of them already. There's definitely this is one game that is out.
I have to see what's
So
out there.
over 50. So what was yours then on Goff
Yeah,
passing yards, Gibbs anytime, and
Golf is
Amon-Ra St. Brown?
over. Golf is over 281.5. What else did I say?
A Gibbs and an Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That is going to be plus 328.
Gotcha. John, you're going with the over 56.5 for 50. And what was the other bit you went with? Minnesota and the points.
Yeah, Minnesota and the points, and I do see that they've got some things here, so I'm putting something together. All right, let's see here. Here's what I want.
Okay.
I want a Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown. I want a Jordan Addison anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
I want Jordan Addison 60-plus alt yards, receiving yards. I want Sam Darnold over 290.5. He's going to rock. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 50 yards. And I think I just told you the Jordan Addison. So you got Gibbs, Addison touchdowns. You got Darnold,
So I've got Gibbs,
Rollins.
Addison, 60 plus yards for Addison.
Plus the touchdown, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've got 290.5 for Darnold and an ASB over 50 yards.
There you go. That's plus 550. I want to put $50 down on that.
550, $50, and I'm going to put the time on here is 1:20, just so I can go back to it. Okay, Max, have you got anything for this game?
I do. I've got the long shot, but that's another thing separate.
Okay.
Give me $100. I think Minnesota's going to win. Give me Minnesota plus 2.5 with a Jahmyr Gibbs and a Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. That is a plus 363, Scotty.
And Gibbs. Plus 363.
Correct.
Okay, I've got that.
And I've got my long shot of the week, which is a lot of little money lines. I'm going with the Ravens and the Bengals to win today, the Falcons, the Packers, the Texans, the Bills, the Colts, the Buccaneers, and the Chiefs to win tomorrow.
So that is 100, is it, on that one?
That's $100 on that, please.
Plus 7055.
Ooh,
There's Max's
that's a
money
big one.
line. Big pickup week. Max's long shot.
So you're going Minnesota, and you're also going Minnesota, Max. I'm going Detroit. And I don't want to bet on this because every time I do, the other person scores. So if I say Jordan Addison, Jefferson will score. If I go Jahmyr Gibbs...
So do me a favor. Pick Jefferson.
Say both of them.
Yeah, pick Jefferson. Do me a favor. I got Addison for a touchdown.
All right,
Thank you. There you go. Be a mensch.
It's called hedging. I do it all the time.
Yeah. I know. So I'll go with Jefferson, Addison.
Back in the 70s, we used to do hedging.
Gibbs, and
then in the 80s, it turned into like those little bikini waxes. And then in the 90s, it became that airstrip.
Can you have a look at what that? Can you have a look at what that would be? So Jefferson, Addison, Gibbs, and Laporta.
Sorry, Scotty, we got all distracted and whatnot.
You said Jefferson
for touchdowns.
Addison,
yeah, Gibbs and Laporta. That's a plus 1505.
That's happening. I'll put 50 on that. There you go. Now we're on to the game of the week.
All right. Game we've all been waiting for.
All the marbles.
JD's been waiting for this game since the beginning of the damn show. I hope he's still here.
We have the Commanders and the Cowboys. Commanders are favored by 6.5. Over under is 44.5.
So an hour ago, JD asked in the chat, if we're gonna have any chance in the playoffs, Michael Davis must not step on the field. I kept seeing him getting run over and smoked all game against Atlanta. We need a better number 3 corner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong. I think
but
we
he's
should
not
leave
wrong.
him in
But who have we got? That's the problem.
Hey,
look,
Benjamin
we're going
St.
down
Juice,
to Texas.
buddy.
That place is apparently if you listen to the news, that Texas is just overrun with illegals. Just grab a couple of them and see which one of them could run backwards for a couple of yards.
So
what
are you going
Davis.
So your outside corners are going to be BSJ and
Sandra
Still, and then Noah I in
Pablo
the slot.
Lopez.
We have heard reports that Trey Lance will be playing significant playing time.
Drive past Home Depot in the morning and pick up a couple of guys and see who can run backwards.
Trey Lance will have significant playing time. He may not start, but he is playing.
Goddamn right. I'm not paying that Cooper Rush any goddamn bonus money. No, not. It's in my contract. I don't care what he's got in his contract. In my contract, it says you don't pay bonus money to goddamn backup quarterbacks.
Only thing we got to do to win this game is keep the ball away from Turpin.
Yep.
You would hope so that's all we got to do. We have to control the line of
stop
scrimmage, and that's
Rico-
where we
stop
got our
Rico
ass beat
Dowdle.
last time.
We talked about it yesterday.
We did.
Wow.
But that's where we got beat up last time, was at the line of scrimmage, and I think that we got to stop their defensive line from just fucking teeing off on Jaden Daniels, period.
I have a parlay on Jaden Daniels, 490 passing yards.
490?
No, I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ, I was like that. What? So who are you picking, John?
I'm picking the Commanders to win. We're not getting swept by the Cowboys. No.
Max?
I'm not doing anything else with them because it's cursing when I do it. So
Same.
Washington for the book, please.
Jesse?
Yeah, Washington for the book.
Nice. That's same as me. And no bets on that game. Before we go, we're just looking at these games and looking at these head coaches because it's going to be Monday tomorrow, Black Monday. Who do we think gets actually fired?
Sunday.
Or Monday even, you know what I mean? It's coming. Yeah. I'm ahead of this game.
That's all right.
Who gets fired?
7 hours ahead of everybody.
I think I did see that it's written in all but in stone that Aaron Glenn is going to New Orleans.
Okay.
But I mean, you could definitely see 7 coaches get fired on Monday.
So I think Doug Peterson's gone.
Yep.
Out of Jacksonville. New England, I'm not sure on, but I
think he's gone.
I think Shane Steichen could be the shocker in
Ooh,
Indianapolis.
from Indianapolis, yes.
I mean,
they
would
don't-
that
they
really
haven't been
be a
happy with
shocker,
it.
though?
I mean, if they don't make the playoffs, that's a 9-win team, but with all that potential.
Do you think the guy at do you think Callahan over at Tennessee is safe?
You got to give him more than 1 year.
I think so. And when you
Yeah.
talk
I mean,
about all the talent that
But
Steichen
like
supposedly
that thing
has,
can be said with Gerard Mayo.
That's what I mean.
I think
Yeah, but will they? That's the question.
I think the difference between Callahan and Mayo is that, with Mayo, you have Drake May, but if you can definitely get the Ben Johnson, what are you doing? There's not really any reason to keep a defensive coach when you have a quarterback like that.
right.
Dayball gone.
Yeah.
Dayball's going to be gone. Yeah.
I think
Mike
both
McCarthy
Dayball
gone?
and Shane. No, I think McCarthy stays.
Yeah, I think McCarthy stays because I don't think Jerry wants to go through all that shit again. God dang it, I ain't got but just a couple of months left on this planet. I don't feel like spending all that time interviewing people, for Christ's sakes. And if they make me talk to Eric Bieniemy, I really don't feel. I'm just not up for it.
And you think that Miami's going to blow it up and get rid of
McDaniel?
McDaniels?
That's a tough one.
I don't think so.
No,
I think McDaniel's
I don't think
safe.
Yeah, I think he's safe at least a year, at least another year.
Anyone
the
else
guy
that
in
we can
the-
think of?
The
Cleveland.
New Orleans. D'Amico Ryan's not going to get Cleveland.
That's
They
Callahan, isn't it?
might.
No, that's
No, it's not. It's Kev Stefanski.
Kevin
So,
Stefanski.
yeah.
I think Stefanski's a good coach. He just has.
So do I.
He hasn't had a good quarterback. I mean, you throw
Say that about a million
freaking-
coaches.
Throw Deshaun Watson in his lap, and
I think Canales over at Carolina's okay for another year because you can
Yeah.
see some sort of thing out of Bryce
Well, you
Young.
did
He's
for a couple of
looking
weeks.
okay.
They burped a little bit, but then
there was some talk. This was just rumor on the radio about trading Kyle Shanahan to. I think it was
Trading Shanahan.
Yeah, trading the coach.
It's
That
been
hasn't
done
happened in
before.
20 years.
Yeah, it's happened
Wow.
before. It was John Gruden, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was 2000.
Well, there's talk of John Gruden getting interviews again. Who
Trying
for?
to.
I don't know. But if
Yeah, but
you
he's got such a big contract with Barstool. What's the point?
He has to make sure those checks cash. He knows they will from the
Suppose.
NFL.
and if
I
Ron
think Jay
Rivera
Gruden
can
needs
get
to get
interviews,
another
then
opportunity as an
yeah.
OC.
See, the Giants hired John Gruden. What about Jay?
Jay-
You think Jay's going to get another chance?
I want him. I want him to get an
OC.
offensive coordinator. I don't think he'll get a head coaching job, but he should be an offensive coordinator. He's
And you know what?
got
He
a
didn't
brilliant-
do
he's
too
got a
bad
good-
in Jacksonville. He did okay.
He is a really good play caller.
Yeah, he does. He designs up some nifty stuff.
Yeah.
Some douche. All right, we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's about for kickoff. We hope that you had a good time paying attention to us today because we sure had a good time paying attention to ourselves. Anyway, that's it.
everybody
We'll be
in the
back
chat.
tomorrow. We'll be back
tomorrow.
tomorrow afternoon. Right after the Commanders and Cowboys football game to give our quick analysis and whatever we think about what we just saw with gentlemen from the 1 Point Safety Show and the Bunker Podcast.
Are we
And
watching
then,
that game together on here?
Yeah, we could try to do that, but we could
at 5:30 on Monday afternoon. We'll be back with a big analysis of everything that's going to go on. We'll get ready for the playoffs. Until then,
good.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Later.